I'm trying to save your life.
What life? We're gonna start power! Brace for impact.
No one could have landed that plane like I did.
Alright y'all, it's your boy Fro Thizzle, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2012 Denzel flick, Flight, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Here we follow a decorated airline pilot named Whip Whitaker, played by Denzel. Whitaker also happens to be a drug addict and a severe alcoholic. While Whitaker's flying a plane one day, the plane crashes, goes haywire, but Whitaker's able to land it safely. He's considered a hero by many people, but as we go along the film, we start to figure out the cracks behind Whitaker's character, what drives him behind the alcoholism, and the eventual guilt that starts to build up in Whitaker. He was messing around with one of the flight attendants, Katrina, which we open the film, if you know, you know. It's a pretty crazy way to open a movie, especially a Robert Zemeckis film. Katrina's butt-ass naked. Denzel's all zoned out in the bed. This is during the opening title, or during the opening scene. At first, due to the drug and alcohol problems, Whitaker's really shut off when he's getting investigated and constantly questioned about the catastrophe and what made the plane eventually crash and who was responsible, basically. So I can see people having problems with Whitaker as a character. Some people can argue if he's a hero, if he's not. But in my opinion, with the power of Denzel, through my eyes, he makes the character Whip Whitaker rather sympathetic, or at least you can understand and get into the layers of how he's feeling or how he's operating. Now, we have a great supporting cast. We have Don Cheadle playing one of the guys constantly interrogating Denzel through the film, trying to get down to the crooks and nannies about what happened with the plane. Bruce Greenwood also plays one of the other guys side by side with them. We have Tamara Tooney, who I think is a pretty underrated actress, playing one of the other flight attendants that's close with Whitaker, but not really romantically, just on some homie type of vibes. But of course, if you know me personally, Denzel's my favorite actor of all time, no exaggeration. I know there's technically better actors out there who are chameleons and know how to fully transform into a different person. But I think Denzel's charisma and the way he's able to command a screen is unmatched. Having said that, I think John Goodman in this film damn near steals the show. Very close by a needle and a thread. Goodman plays Denzel's drug dealer, pretty much a hippie-looking guy, very serious about his drugs. And the guy's name, I think, is Harling Mays. With nearly 10 minutes of screen time or less, Goodman nearly steals the show. And I think it's one of my favorite performances from him. Definitely a very underrated performance. Now, what I think is the weakest about the film, or the character that I just couldn't vibe with or didn't care for too much, was Kelly Riley as Nicole. And she kind of plays the love interest to Denzel. She's like this porn star / drug addict who also goes through her own problems. And while Kelly Riley is a good actress, I just don't think her character was really necessary for the film. Now, I can understand the bonding between Denzel and her character as far as they're both going through their problems with the drugs, etc. But I just feel if you took out Nicole's character, I think this movie would have still been great. It still would have been a fantastic movie. Now, that's just my personal opinion. If you like Nicole in the movie, no problem. That was just something I always thought watching this film. I do remember the plane sequence being pretty brutal. Like, mild spoilers if you haven't seen it, 3, 2, 1. But the image of Katrina's dead body with her head smushed in between the fucking plate or the cupboard in the plane, I always thought that image was pretty freaky. And did give me a shiver in the theater for sure. And the plane sequence is rather intense. Funny enough, this movie's rated R for drug and alcohol abuse, which I think it should be graphic, like graphic alcohol and drug abuse. Language, sexuality, and nudity, and an intense action sequence. And again, touching on the drugs and alcohol aspect in this film, I do think it's well done. It is hard to watch, and I can see how it can be triggering for some people going through those problems. But at the same time, I think it's handled pretty much as a PSA, or as a, if you go down this road, this can happen or this can fuck with you. Wrapping it up, I think Flight is a great movie. Always enjoyed it ever since I saw it in the theater for the first time. And this is one of my favorite Denzel performances ever. Maybe in the top 10. I think Denzel really shines in this film, especially at the ending scene where he completely gives in and he's tired of lying. He completely bears it all in front of everybody in the courtroom scene. And it's a rather brutal scene to watch, but fantastic 10 out of 10 acting from Denzel, one of his best, and I highly recommend this one. I'm going to give Flight a strong 9 out of 10. And that's it, y'all. It's your boy Fro Thizzle. Until next time, look out for more reviews. I hope you enjoyed, and peace.
Our investigators concluded the aircraft failed.
The FAA placed 10 pilots in simulators, recreated the events. Every pilot killed everybody on board. You were the only one who could do it.
You saved my mom.
I want to talk about the days leading up to the accident.
This thing is so heavy it's killed me. I drank the night before the flight.
Does Whitaker know he's going to jail?
My clients don't go to jail.
It's alive, Whip. It's alive.